This is a map of Chicago's metro system, known as the L. It's considered one of the most efficient metro networks in the US, connecting nearly every part of the city. It has a daily ridership of approximately 420,000, carrying over 127 million passengers every year. But the metro alone doesn't explain why Chicago feels so uniquely organized, because beyond the trains, the entire layout of the city looks like it was built with a master plan in mind. Well, that's because it was. Chicago was designed to be functional, a place where the streets, buildings, and transport all fit together like parts of a machine. Unlike other American cities that grew chaotically, Chicago feels deliberate, engineered rather than accidental. The city sits on an almost perfect grid system, with numbered streets and a logical address layout that makes navigation surprisingly simple. At its center lies State Street and Madison Street, forming the 0 point that divides the city into north, south, east, and west. Every 800 address numbers equal exactly 1 mile, meaning if you're at 3,200 north, you're precisely 4 miles north of downtown. This mathematical structure is something most cities lack. Even major ones like New York or Los Angeles rely on patchwork layouts built over centuries. It's no coincidence that a 2019 study ranked Chicago's street layout as the closest approximation of a single, perfect grid out of 100 major world cities. The decision to embrace this perfect order was solidified after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. While the fire caused massive devastation, it gave planners a unique blank slate opportunity. Instead of chaotic reconstruction, the city leaned into a rigid, uniform street plan that prioritized logic and expansion. This foundation of predictability allows for unusual efficiency in everything from city services to emergency response. And this organization isn't just visual. It's deeply practical. It allows emergency services, deliveries, and even urban development to operate with unusual efficiency. It's no coincidence that many of the city's most iconic skyscrapers, like the Willis Tower and the John Hancock Center, fit seamlessly within this grid. The streets below them were literally designed to support that density. But the story of how Chicago became this way goes much deeper. At the turn of the 20th century, the city was facing a crisis of its own success. Its population had exploded from just 4,000 in 1837 to nearly 1.7 million by 1900. That growth brought chaos. Overcrowded housing, polluted waterways, and uncoordinated transport systems. This was when architect Daniel Burnham stepped in. In 1909, he released the Plan of Chicago, one of the first modern urban plans in the world. Burnham's vision was not just about fixing problems. It was part of the broader City Beautiful movement, aiming to inspire civic pride through monumental, orderly design. His plan wasn't just aesthetic, it was an economic argument. Burnham believed that a more beautiful, less congested, and functionally integrated city would directly improve efficiency, worker morale, and the city's ability to conduct global commerce. His ideas were revolutionary. Wide boulevards, green corridors connecting parks, and a protected lakefront that would remain, in his own words, forever open, clear, and free. The plan also reorganized the street grid and rail lines to reduce congestion and encourage walkability. Not every part of it was built, but its spirit defines the city to this day. Chicago's lakefront is now 25 miles of uninterrupted public parkland, something almost no other major U.S. city can claim. New York's waterfront is mostly private. Los Angeles barely has one, yet in Chicago, the entire shoreline is open to everyone, a living legacy of Burnham's vision. This balance between structure and accessibility is what makes Chicago so livable. Its downtown is one of the densest clusters of skyscrapers in the world, yet it's directly connected to neighborhoods, transit, and the lakefront. Unlike many American cities where highways cut downtowns off from residents, Chicago's design integrates everything, a rare urban harmony. Then there's the transit system. The Chicago L, short for elevated, began operating in 1892. Its elevated structure isn't just an aesthetic choice, it's practical. Because the city is built on swampy, soft soil, subway construction is far more expensive and technically risky than in other cities. This technical difficulty made building upward the logical and cost-effective choice. And it worked. At the heart of the network is the Loop, a rectangular track of elevated rail circling the downtown business district. This loop became the backbone of the entire city, with nearly every line connecting through it. Because of this design, even people living far from downtown can reach the city center quickly. Two of the lines, the blue and the orange, even extend directly to Chicago's airports, O'Hare and Midway. That level of integration is something most U.S. cities still struggle to achieve today. But what really sets Chicago apart is its density balance. It's dense enough to support strong public transit and vibrant neighborhoods, but still has space for traditional homes and green areas. This middle density is what many urban planners today call the missing middle, housing types that sit between suburban sprawl and skyscraper. Chicago never lost this balance, and it's one reason the city feels human-scaled despite its size. The gradual step-down in density outwards allows for a mix of housing like two flats, greystones, and courtyard buildings, which provide diverse and affordable entry points for residents. Crucially, this density mix supports local businesses and street life in a way that suburban sprawl cannot. By having a concentrated population within walking distance of amenities and transit, the city fosters a more resilient and economically diverse urban environment. This variety is key. As of 2025, Chicago's median home price is around $360,000, less than half of New York's and lower than Miami or Atlanta. It's not just about taxes or climate, it's about design. Chicago's grid and housing mix allow for more availability and flexibility, keeping prices stable even during national booms. Chicago's strength lies in the infrastructure it already has, a legacy of planning done over a century ago that still works. Its elevated trains coexist with modern skyscrapers, its old industrial zones have become tech hubs, and its parks remain central to civic life. Chicago is fundamentally a city of successful solutions. It solved the problem of swampy ground by building elevated transit. It solved the problem of chaos by adopting a perfect, logical grid. And it solved the problem of excessive density by protecting its waterfront and fostering balanced neighborhood growth. While cities like Los Angeles still battle congestion and New York faces astronomical housing costs, Chicago quietly balances density, accessibility, and livability better than almost any city in the U.S. So how did Chicago end up being the opposite of every other American city? Because instead of expanding endlessly outward, it learned to build inward, to refine what it already had rather than endlessly start over. And that's what makes it a model for modern urban design. A city built on order, balance, and intention. Proof that planning when done right can shape not just a skyline, but a way of life.